The angels have messages for you before, during, and after this new moon in Gemini, and we are going to get right into it right now. First of all, the new moon is at 6 degrees and 6 minutes on May 26th. So we are recording this a little early, so you have time to watch it. We're going to go through all 12 signs, and of course, we will have your bonus messages at the end. And this is actually happening at 10:02 p.m. Central on May 26th. So for some of you, it may actually end up being May 27th when you are actually experiencing the apex of this new moon. It's a really important time to grab that journal and set your intentions, starting with the apex of the new moon and after. So for a lot of us, we may already be in bed when it apexes, so you can get up the next morning. Is a perfect time to wake up the next morning and start setting those intentions, because we had that very powerful moon on May 12th that was really letting us release some things, really bringing in a lot of healing. And now that we've let go of some things and we've had some clarity, we're going to be using this new moon in Gemini to communicate, right? Gemini is ruled by Mercury, the planet of communication. It also rules the third house, communication, short distance travel, siblings, all these things. There are things around that we want to manifest in our life. Also, what's new with this new moon is we now have Saturn in Aries. Now, at the time I'm recording this message, we don't, but Saturn will have moved into Aries by the time this new moon apexes. So think back to those years between 96 and 99, the last time we had Saturn in Aries, and what was going on for you. See if there's any similar themes in there that you could tap into your favorite energy around that. And what's different though this time is we do have Neptune in Aries, which we haven't had that before. We have Mercury in Gemini as well with this new moon, and that rules Gemini and Virgo. And we will have Uranus moving into Gemini. So that's, we're kind of getting a glimpse of some things. So I want to, Jupiter's still in Gemini right now, actually, at the time of this message. It's going to be moving into Cancer this summer. So I want you to keep all of those things in mind as you are listening to these messages. I'm going to try to remember to pull up your, mention your house as we go through. Hello, everybody in the chat. Hey, Hubert. Hey, Kim Priestess. Great to see you there. All right, so we're going to move over to your Celtic cross to get an idea about this overall energy for this new moon. So starting with the overall energy, we have the Star card. Wow. For a new moon in the heart of our spread, happy times, make positive, optimistic, long-term plans, on the right path. So this energy is addressing the fact that your heart wants to know if it's time for you to really shine. Are you going to finally be recognized for the things that you want to be recognized for? And I always like to remind you, it doesn't mean that you necessarily want to be up on stage or having a podcast or writing a book. Some of you really do want those things, but it's also just this idea of being seen for who you really are authentically and being able to shine your light in the world. And so what they're doing here right now is addressing that your heart is wishing for that. It's like you're wishing on a star. And that's what I love about this being in the heart of our spread for our new moon, is that you're setting those intentions. You're literally wishing on a star. So make sure you do have a journal that you can journal in, and go ahead and put it on your calendar. Set aside plenty of time to sit down and write down what you want to manifest with this new moon. Now, I will give you a little tip that I've been doing for a long time, is I set intentions as if they're already happening, right? So let's say I want a project to be really successful. I would say, I am highly successful. That would be an intention I would write in my journal specifically for this new moon that's in present tense, right? But first, we want to be thinking about the things that you can call in with this new moon. So you may need to start thinking right now at the time you're hearing this message. Again, this energy will last quite a while after the new moon. So even if you're watching this after the new moon has apex, still set those intentions. It's really powerful manifestation energy right now. So let's move on to the crossing energy here to see what's kind of been challenging for us. And of course, we will get clarity for that. Just bumping these cards in the right way here. We have the Unity card. That's been kind of the challenge here. Traditional viewpoints or methods, spiritual organizations, seek mentors or like-minded people. So with this new moon, what we're wanting to manifest is an ability to surround ourselves with people who are like-minded, and we're wanting to move away from old traditional belief sets. Also, those around us who are really stuck in their old patterns, there's been a challenge to move on with your spiritual beliefs. I don't know if you had a chance to watch my most recent spiritual topic video, which was 7 hacks if you're in the spiritual closet. Even if you're not in the spiritual closet, it's a good reminder of all the things we can do to raise our vibration and share our light with the world in a bigger way. And I am getting that for a lot of you, though, you do feel pretty lonely on your spiritual path, and it's been a challenge for you because you've been surrounded by people with very traditional viewpoints, or maybe even subconsciously you're getting stuck in the belief system you were born into as a child, and you're needing to release those things. Hopefully you were able to release a lot of those things with that full moon in Scorpio that we had on May 12th, because it was really going deep into your subconscious and asking you to be honest with yourself about where you're still stuck in old beliefs. So there's still opportunity to manifest change in that regard. When we get to all 12 signs in your bonus messages, we'll have a lot more clarity. But first, let's see what's going up in the subconscious area of our chart. In the subconscious area, we have the King of Air, brilliant, impartial, professional. It says speak your mind with confidence, seek out professional advice, balance mental and emotional situations. Yeah, so it's just validating that there are still some things left over from that full moon that are holding us back a little bit. Maybe it's just, a need to honor that, hey, we do still have these subconscious things we hold on to from our past, and it's time to bring in some healing. It's time to balance our emotions around that. It might be time to go ahead and seek a counselor or a mentor or a teacher to help you move on from that. One of the hacks in my video for those of you who are in the spiritual closet is to find a group of people you can surround yourself with, or even a teacher. Take a class, right? This can be something that really helps you, and this could be as simple as going online and watching YouTube videos like this one, where you can learn from others and you can grow and you won't feel quite so alone. So let's see what's coming up in the recent past to get some clarity about that subconscious factor there. We have the Two of Air, being unwilling or unable to make a decision, a stalemate, pretending there isn't a problem. Now, I am getting for some of us here that this is actually regarding a relationship. It could be a relationship to a project. Maybe you've hired somebody to help you with a project and you're not making a decision, so things are not moving forward. You know that there's something off. You're not quite sure what it is, and you've been in this stalemate energy. But this is coming up in the recent past, so it sounds like you've acknowledged that, like there is a decision that needs to be made. You know this. So let's see what's coming up in the present energy to see if we can get some clarity on where we're going to go next. Yep, there we go. 5 of Water, things not turning out the way you'd hoped, not seeing the positive of a situation, crying over spilled milk. Yeah, so I am getting that we realized, okay, this is a stalemate energy. This isn't working. But it's been hard not to basically feel like you've wasted your time or energy on something. That's what I'm getting for a lot of us, is that we were like, but I put all this time and effort. I said what I wanted, and now this is what the result is. And we're being asked not to stay in that energy of feeling sorry for ourselves or crying over spilled milk, right? Because in this card, it shows how there's still 2 cups that still have water there. So it's really about finding a different solution that's going to help you feel emotionally stable. So I don't know, I'm going to use an example of, let's say you were on the fence about making an offer on a house, and then you knew that you needed to just go ahead and make an offer. And when you did make the offer, they came back with a much bigger response, or you lost the deal and it just didn't go the way you wanted. Well, there is an opportunity to see things differently with that and say, well, there's probably a better house for me. Or, maybe this wasn't the house for me because they came back so high that I realize this isn't where I want to be. I'll feel emotionally overwhelmed by the cost of this. And I'm just using that as an example, but it could have to do with an actual relationship where it didn't work out. But now you're seeing, like, maybe there were things that you weren't being honest with yourself about, or maybe there is a different way to handle it going forward, because you do still have these 2 cups. So it's maybe more about meeting that person where they are and trying to focus on what you have in common. So again, looking for the good in people. So I am getting, for some of you, it is regarding another person. Let's see what's coming up in the near future. In the near future, we have the Moon card. Important psychic insights, events behind the scenes, release fears that hold you back. Okay, so we literally have the Moon card in your new moon reading here, asking for you to tap into your psychic abilities. You are an intuitive, you have natural born abilities. Hone them, and if you're not sure how to do it, get started with journaling. Learn how to do some automatic writing. Ask your angels for signs and symbols. There's so many things you can do to advance your psychic abilities. Again, we were talking about there's classes you can take, right? So really focus on using your intuition coming up in the near future, and that's going to really benefit you when it comes to knowing where to go next with these 2 cups that you still have water in. And it could also be, it's like 2 cups of things that you are excited about, that you love, right? You had 5 cups of things you love, 3 spilled. Okay, we're going to do what we can with the 2 things we have. And in order to know the best move to make, we're going to trust our intuition, all right? So that's coming up in the near future because we did have in the recent past this need to make a decision. Let's see what's going on for your personal power. For your personal power, you have the Queen of Water card, a beautiful card for personal power here. We have tenderhearted, empathetic, patient, loving, relationships develop to a new level, trust your intuition, care for yourself and others. I love that coming up in the personal power card here because I feel like one of the things that we forget to do is trust those natural born intuitive abilities. And again, allowing things, relationships to move to a new level in the way they're meant to, right? So part of this Queen of Water card, part of that, this energy here, your personal power, is allowing things to happen naturally, allowing them to happen in divine timing. So we'll use one of my favorite pocket affirmations here. I trust divine timing. Write that in the comment section below. I trust divine timing. Everything happens for a reason in divine timing if we get in the flow. I recently used this in a video talking about how, we have this need to paddle upstream sometimes when we really want something. But sometimes the best things to do is set down the oars, let the boat turn around and go with the flow. It doesn't mean dropping the oars, because there might be some challenges that come off where you have to push off a rock or guide the boat in one direction or another, guide it in the way that is in flow, the way you want to. So that's going to be your personal power there. In fact, I was watching a show the other day where they were singing together as a group the song Row, Row Your Boat, but it was a bunch of adults. And I remember thinking how divinely inspired it is. Row your boat gently down the stream, merrily, merrily, merrily. Life is but a dream. Like, I get angel bumps when I hear life is but a dream. It's about going with the flow and trusting that, sometimes you do need to row so you can move around those rocks, and other times you need to just gently let the flow take you. So really your personal power here is trusting in divine timing, but don't forget that you do need to make sure you're also using your intuition so you'll know when the right time is to act. And part of that action you can take right now is using this new moon energy to write down those intentions. Please, all of you, give your future self that gift of hindsight. Give your present self credit for writing down what your heart wants. All right, let's see what's coming up in the external factors. Of course, we're going to do all 12 signs and your bonus messages at the end. We have the Lover's card, Archangel Raphael, intimate relationships, carefully weigh your decisions, good health. A lot of us are being affected by relationships right now. For some of us, it is romantic relationships, or some of us, it's just needing to have that love for a project, love for something you're doing. There's something here where you need to bring better health to something. So I am getting, for a lot of you, this is another person in your life that maybe things just haven't been going so well. They've been kind of rocky. We do have that Two of Swords energy here about stalemate energy, needing to make a choice about something. And it's really about having those heart-to-heart conversations and meeting that other person where they are and seeing if you can find creative solutions. But this is something to think about with this new moon energy, especially with your intuition. Maybe there's, a relationship in your life that is just not that healthy right now. And if you would really listen to your intuition, you would get clarity on that and you would know how to handle it in this Queen of Water manner, which is your kind, compassionate, personal power here. So I do think that that's what's going on for some of you. This could be something as simple as just, I feel like something's off with that client of mine. Like she always seems great on the phone, but just something feels off. And instead of ignoring it, right, turning a blind eye, you're listening to your intuition and maybe you're reaching out and saying, hey, can we have a check-in? Are things going okay? Are we on the same page? That may not resonate with you at all. Maybe you don't work or you're not self-employed, but just think about any person that pops into your mind. There is something going on in your external factors with your relationships that is affecting your ability to move on from this spilled milk situation we have right now. So let's see what's happening in the hopes or fears part of this spread, which I always refer to as the two sides of the same coin. We have the World card. A job well done, joy, contentment, gratitude, the path toward enlightenment. Yeah, there is a fear around whether the things you're working towards are going to bring you joy in your world. The fear around, are you on the right path? But you're also in your heart hoping you are, because there is something you're wanting to do. And so I'm feeling like, this is just that reminder that we have to trust the path we're on if we're following our heart. And we do have to be compassionate with ourselves and those around us. So let's see what's coming up in the final outcome card so we can get to all 12 signs and I get a chance to say hello to everybody in the chat. Please let me know where you're tuning in from. For the final outcome card, we have the Page of Earth. We have scholarly, dependable, patient, successful, good news about financial matters, wanting to do something more challenging, and a new area of study. So ultimately, what you're going to be doing with this new moon is you're going to be calling in this new opportunity to take your skills to a new level. You're going to be calling in a new opportunity to take a class. I am getting, for some of you, it's almost like you're letting go of a relationship so that you do have time to invest in your future and invest your skills. But you already know what this is. Like, it was already coming to an end. I don't feel like this is something new. I feel like this is something that came to you over the full moon that we had on May 12th in Scorpio. And now you're ready to just move on and invest your time wisely. For some of you, this is some kind of work project or creative project too, where you realized you were really stuck and you started releasing things that were holding you back with that full moon. And now with this new moon, you're going to be bringing in that good news. So I think it's a really, really positive thing. The overall energy is really, really good for this new moon. We just want to make sure we're not turning a blind eye to things. Maybe the thing that you're turning your blind eye to is the fact that you are still crying over spilled milk. You are still stuck in the past, when really it's time to renew that relationship to someone or something, fall in love with life again, and tap into that personal power with that Queen of Water. All right, let's jump into all 12 signs here, and I'll check in and see how everybody's doing in the comments here. Wow, I am ready for this Gemini energy we are in. So I think I said it at the beginning, but in case you're just tuning in, happy birthday season, Geminis. I hope you celebrate all month long. Tauruses, I hope you had a fantastic birthday season. Keep celebrating. Celebrate all year. So yes, we said hello to everybody here. Kim and Hubert. Great to see you. Blondie, good morning. Good to see you. Hello, Melissa. Good to see you. Noelle, there's my girlfriend. How you doing? Anna, good to see you. Sicilian Aphrodite, welcome, welcome. All right, let's jump into the Aries energy for this full moon. I'm going to make sure I pop up the icons here so everybody can see who we are discussing. I'm going to be doing the Guardian Angel Tarot deck from Radley Valentine. It's one of my favorites. I'm going to be doing this deck from Sedona, Arizona, one of my favorite places. I bought this deck in Sedona, and it's all places in Sedona. And then we're going to be using my favorite unicorn deck here, all right? So this is the energy for the new moon for Aries. Now for Aries, this is happening in your third house of short distance travel, communication, siblings, publishing, writing, and the sun is in Gemini, which rules the third house. So this is really powerful energy for all of us. Let's see, Aries, for first coming up in the energy this full moon. Quick reminder, I don't read reversals. We have 4 of water, distraction, self-absorption, discontentment. All right, something in your energy has been distracting you a lot here, Aries. Probably since that full moon, something was revealed that's been very distracting for you, and it's caused you to, think about things in maybe not the most positive manner, because you can see this person is focusing on these 3 cups and is not aware of this opportunity in the background here to do something different. They're just sitting here staring at these cups. For the Sedona card, we have, look at this. I have only used this deck a few times. Visitor, tourist, or alien. I love that. All right, we'll clarify that in just a minute. And then the you are gifted card. You are very intelligent and talented. Yeah, I think that you're going to be doing something that feels a little foreign for you, Aries. And, that's the thing, is there's this cup behind you, this new opportunity to do something with this new moon, Aries, but you've never done it before, right? You're sitting there looking at the things you've always done. Maybe you did recently take a vacation. Maybe you had somebody come visit you that opened your mind to that. And also be on the lookout for some signs and symbols from your spiritual team. You may actually be getting a visit from a passed away loved one, from a longtime friend, and they're going to be inspiring you and showing you that you really are gifted. So for Aries, what I'm getting is there's probably someone in your life that can support you with doing this new thing, especially anything regarding your 3rd house. So I think that's really positive there for the Aries. Definitely take note of anything going on for you there. Moving on to the Tauruses. For the Tauruses, we have the 5 of Air card. It says mistakes, melodrama, reassessment. For the Sedona deck, we have Sugarloaf, allow love. Wow. Okay, I can feel some messages coming in here. And we have best friends. Best friends. True friends stick together no matter what. All right, so there is something going on here for the Tauruses with this new moon where you're still cycling through mistakes from your past, especially regarding relationships. You are definitely stuck in that spilled milk energy, Tauruses. There's something that you're frustrated about. Let me talk about your house here quickly. This is your 2nd house of finances. Okay, so yeah, something didn't work out for you so well financially, and maybe it was brought to light after that full moon. Like I said, on May 12th, we had that full moon. Something happened between that full moon and this new moon that didn't really quite go the way you wanted, and it may have really affected your finances or your self-worth, but the angels are asking you to allow love. And how do you do that? Ask your best friends, look around you, look for the support you need, because there are people around you to support you with these past things that didn't quite go so well. It could even be that you have a friend that can give you some really good financial advice or can help you recognize where you are worthy and you're not giving yourself credit for that. So definitely focus on self-worth with this new moon, and that's going to help you bring better health to your finances. All right. Great for the Tauruses there. Let me know how this is resonating with all of you. I do always encourage you to listen to all 12 signs because we have all 12 signs in our chart, right? All right, Geminis, birthday people here. I was about to say kiddos. I'll call you kiddos. Birthday kiddos. We're young at heart, right? So for Geminis, obviously, this is your 1st house, right? This is about your physical body. This is about what you initiate in the world. You are initiating things. You're initiating a new cycle around the world. So let's see what's going on with this first card here for Geminis. We have Empress, creation, abundance, action. What did I just say about initiation? There's something you're giving birth to with this new moon. This is a very, very powerful new moon for all of us, but Gemini, this is your new moon, and the different transits we have going on is giving you a lot of bolstered energy here. Like I said, Jupiter's still in Gemini. Oh my goodness, take advantage of this new moon, everybody. But this Empress energy here is saying you are giving birth to something with this new moon, and we all are. Let's see for the Sedona card. We have Night Sky, hope and guidance. Oh my gosh, this deck is bringing back so many memories for me from Sedona. There's my very first time I ever went to Sedona. I went for a retreat, and some friends and I went hiking at night and found a rock over by, I think it was over by Cathedral Rock, I want to say. And we just found this flat slab and laid under the stars. And it felt like the stars like came in on me. It was unbelievable energy. And we felt like we walked through a vortex. I digress. Night sky there, Geminis. This is about getting outside under this new moon. You're going to get some big time downloads. And actually, this goes for all of us. We're going to have the sun conjunct Mercury as well. That's what they call a cazimi, where we can get new ideas. So all of us get outside, get under these night skies, even though it's a dark moon, you can't fully see it because it's not the full moon that's illuminated. We want to get under this moon. If you can get outside, if you can't, just go and look through a window where you can see it. I've definitely had situations where at night it was cold and rainy and I wanted to see the full moon. So I just looked at it through my window. And then what do we have here? We have the exercise card, like talking about getting outside, right? So for Geminis, it's going to be important. You are getting a lot of exercise for starting with this new moon. Is there something new you want to try? Because this is about the physical body as well, since it's happening in your first house. Have you ever tried pickleball? Have you ever tried ping pong? Have you ever tried hiking like we were just talking about? Maybe it's time to get out and start hiking out there. So Geminis, this is going to help you get those new ideas. So I'm really encouraging you, and actually everybody, look to see where Gemini is in your chart. Go ahead and get outside under these beautiful stars and you're going to get some amazing ideas. All right, let's move on to the Cancers here. Cancers, we have for the let's see. Sometimes I turn them all over together. I'm going to do them one at a time. For this new moon Cancers, we have Page of Water, sensitive, open-hearted, intuitive, some kind of new inspiration. We have Oak Creek. Ooh, have you been to Sedona? I know right where Oak Creek is. It's beautiful. And Wish Upon a Star. Wish upon a star. Yeah, I'm getting for Cancers that there is this opportunity to have new emotional growth, that you're going to be falling in love with someone or something. It could be that you're already in love, but you're taking it to a new level, right? Like the old-fashioned thing is you are, taking it from just dating to engagement or from engagement to marriage. I am getting to with this Oak Creek here that you are going to want to spend some time by water, Cancers, especially with this Page of Water card. Spending time in nature is going to really benefit you as well, especially if you can do that. And then, of course, we have this Wish Upon a Star card, which is what we are all doing with this new moon. And remember, we had that star card coming up in the near future in the Celtic Cross. So get out there and make those wishes from the heart. And if you can, do it out in the night sky. If you can, do it by some water. This is really great. Easy actions for the Cancers. Of course, we will get actions at the end with the bonus messages here. Coming up for the Leos. All right, Leos. What do we have for the Leos here? For the Leos, we have, for this new moon, the Two of Fire card. Planning, partnering, progress. Great. Maybe some new collaborations coming in. Maybe a new romantic partner, Leos. Oh, I didn't talk about your houses. Cancer, for your house. Okay, let me stop real quickly here. We'll take off Leo for a second and I'll go back to Cancer. Nope, that's Virgo. Cancers, the new moon is happening in your 12th house, right? So Gemini season can be a little tricky for Cancers, whether Cancer Sun or Cancer Rising, because this is the subconscious. So we may need to do some emotional healing around subconscious things. This is also hidden enemies. This is also connection to the spiritual realm. So maybe you're initiating new things around that, and definitely getting outside under the stars to ask for that spiritual guidance is going to be really powerful for the Cancers. All right. Thank you for your patience with that. Moving on to the Leos. Leos, this is happening in your 11th house of social networks, the people you surround yourself with. And so this is really positive because, as I said here, we have the Two of Fire. So it could be that you're starting a new project with a group of people. Maybe you're sharing something new with the people in your community. You're partnering up with people in your community with this new moon. So let's see what's coming up for the Sedona card. In the Sedona card, we have the Javelina card. It says choice. Wow, that is interesting, given that you have two wands here. All right, Leos, there's a choice you need to make during this Gemini season with this new moon. You need to focus on one thing your heart wants right now and work on that. If you need to, you can bring in this partnership. I am getting for a lot of Leos, you need to choose your relationship over your creative projects for a while, especially during this Gemini season. So let's see what's coming up for the unicorn card. Creative. Yep. Creative. Draw, paint, think, and act in new ways. Does it say new ways? Creative ways, right? So Leos, I'm getting that you're going to have to make a choice to follow your passions, follow the things you love with this new moon. And actually, if you will focus on the relationships that you feel a lot of love and joy in, you're going to get a new creative idea for your work or your projects. So it may mean that you're actually just taking a break from work and spending time with loved ones. And then all this new creative energy is going to come charging in. So since this is in your 11th house, maybe you're taking a break from work and getting together with a group of people that you share like-minded views. Maybe you're taking a painting class locally with a friend, with a group of neighbors. Okay, so get out there and get creative with this new moon, but definitely focus on one thing that you want to manifest with this new moon, Leos, because I am getting that it's almost like you're trying to do too many things at once. All right. For Leos, that was the new moon there. Virgos. Hello, lovely Virgos. Virgos, this is happening in your 10th house of career, public reputation, legacy, how you are seen by what you leave behind, right? All right, Virgos, the overall energy for you. All right, we have the ego card, illusion, dependency, materialism. There, we got that word out, didn't we? All right, Virgos, well, you are an earth sign. Of course, you're focused on your material needs and the things around you, and that's a good thing. We need you guys to do that. But there is something with this new moon that maybe you're wanting to manifest, and maybe it's not really in your highest interest. You're feeling trapped around material resources, or you're feeling like you don't have the ability to manifest these material things that you want. Let's see what's coming up for the Sedona card to get some clarity here for Virgos. All right, we have San Francisco Peaks. It says sacred magic. Yes, I'm getting for Virgos that it might be a really great idea to do some kind of ceremony around this new moon. Maybe get out your crystals, maybe set up an altar, maybe do some manifestation work to bring in these material resources, because I am getting that you're feeling a little trapped in a current situation. But don't forget this magic that you have within you. We all have this magic within us. So let's see what's coming up for the action card here. We have love. The answer that you're seeking is love. Yeah, a lot of Virgos have been so focused on the material things in their world that they're forgetting that they want to be loved and they are lovable. I feel like that's what's going on for a lot of Virgos, is you forget how loved you are and how lovable you are. And so if you would focus more on the love side of things, really tap into this magic, maybe do some kind of activity for this new moon, heart-centered in love, like what's something really loving you could do for yourself during this new moon, then that's going to help you get out of this ego energy right here of feeling trapped, especially regarding your material resources. So that's what we have for the Virgos for the new moon. All right, I'll check in with the chat here. How's everybody doing in the chat? Hello, Leisha. Hello, Pura Luz. I'll scroll up here. I think my my chat is up there. There we go. Melissa's got a B-Day coming up. Yay. Happy early birthday, Melissa. Yes, great to see you all here. Slow Braze, great to see you from Vegas. I've been watching Hacks from on HBO Max. It's one of my favorite shows, and we're getting so many insights about Vegas. It looks so fun to live there. Hello, Mary. Good to see you. Yay, Noelle. I'm glad that resonates with you. All right. Feel free to ask me any questions in the chat if you have any. I love being able to connect with you this way. I was just wanting to jump right into the signs for you because this new moon energy really, really is powerful. All right, for the Libras, what do we have for this new moon for the Libras? Libras, this is happening in your 9th house, spiritual teaching, foreign travel, esoteric knowledge, all kinds of things. Really, really powerful here for the Libras. And you've been having a lot go on for your careers too. So maybe you're like finally taking action on becoming a spiritual teacher. But you're also might be just taking your education to a new level here, Libra. So let's see. Gina! Hey, Gina. Great to see you there. Oh, big hugs, Gina. Good to see you. So for the Libras, we have the Strength card here. Courage, compassion, perseverance. Yeah, so there is something that it's really been a struggle for you to persevere with. I feel like you learned something with the full moon on May 12th that, you really have to go deep and draw on that courage. We'll get some clarity here, but it feels like something was revealed to you, Libras, between May 12th and now, or on the new moon, that you're like, wow, okay, am I strong enough to face this? Am I strong enough to move on from this? Am I strong enough to go to the next level with this? So let's see what's coming up for the Sedona card here. For the Sedona card, we have Red Canyon, and it says ancient and future energies. Wow. Ancient and future energies. Yeah, it's almost like, well, I'll just show you right here. It's like, looks like tornadoes or like vortexes going on there. So it feels like they're letting you know you have this, this is in your 9th house. So you have the strength to tap into this ancient wisdom and bring it forth, but you got to have the courage to do it. Maybe you're surrounded by people who aren't like-minded. So let's see what's coming up for the action card here. We have practice. Well, there's your card there for spiritual teachings, for knowledge. Get out there and practice using your abilities. Practice tapping into that ancient wisdom. Maybe you are somebody who is a clairvoyant and can see the future. Practice using that with this new moon. And actually what you can do, this goes for all of us now, is we can use this new moon energy to take our abilities to the next level. We can ask for an advancement in our psychic abilities, in our ability to, sorry, Virgos, in our abilities to really go to the next level with our clairvoyance, which is clear seeing through our third eye, our clear cognizance, even in our dreams, right? Use this new moon to take your ability to connect spiritually to the new level, because especially since it is in Gemini, communication. We want to be able to communicate with our higher self on an even stronger level than ever before. And I know a lot of you already do this. You already connect with your spiritual team, your angels, your higher self, but this is all of us getting to go to a new level with that. And it's really, really exciting. The energy that's coming up. I feel like with Jupiter moving out of Gemini into Cancer, we're expanding our consciousness and our ability to communicate. And then when Uranus enters into Gemini later this summer, it's gonna be wild, the things that it reveals and shifts in our ability to communicate with the other realms, right? All right. My little diatribe there. Let's move on to the Scorpios. Thank you for your patience, Scorpios. I don't even have my glasses on to see where the icon is. Here we go. All right, Scorpios. First, what do we have for this new moon for Scorpios? Hey, Caroline. Good to see you there. All right, we have King of Air. Knowledgeable, objective, respective. All right, so yeah, Scorpios, I think it's important that you're speaking up with this new moon. We're going to pull it together. We got the Sun card for the Sedona pack. Joy is healing. You've gotten the Sun card with me so many times, Scorpios. It's been really interesting. Even in your 2025 angel messages, Scorpios, it was talking about getting out into the sun instead of staying cozy in your corner. It's time to shine your light out in the world in a bigger way. And so maybe with this new moon, you can ask for help doing that and really stepping into your power. And then let's see, for the action card here, we have curiosity. I love that. And I didn't talk about what house this is for you. So let's do that really. Oh, look at the kitty touching the unicorn horn. I never noticed that before. Scorpios, this is happening in your 8th house. You rule the 8th house. And, this is intimacy. This is other people's resources. There's just so much with the 8th house. Like it's really, really deep. And so what I feel like you're being asked to do is get curious about how you can share your knowledge. Since you do rule the 8th house, I think it's important that you figure out, what can I do to get out there in a bigger way and shine my light? Use this new moon to set intentions around that and really stepping into your personal power, because you've been getting that all year long, Scorpios. It is time to get out of that dark corner and step into the sunlight. Even if it's a little uncomfortable, you can get help for that. Ask for help from your spiritual team there. All right, moving on to the Sagittarius. All right, Sagittarius, what do we have for you? For the Guardian Angel Tarot deck, we have the High Priestess card, intuition, wisdom, patience. So Sagittarius, this is happening in your 7th house. This is your long-term relationships, romantic partners, your boss, your job, colleagues you work with you've been working with for a long time, you are working with. Something has recently come to your awareness, especially after that full moon, regarding these partnerships. And you've had to be really patient with these long-term relationships. And you're realizing it's time for me to finally move on. And with it being a new moon, I feel like it's going to be important for you to plant the seeds to move away from those long-term relationships that are no longer serving you and moving into a different dynamic where you can really embrace that. So let's see what's coming up for the Sedona card. We have Red Rock, nurturing. Yes, if you've been to Sedona, those red rocks are very nurturing. But all red rocks, I mean, they're all over Arizona, right? And Utah too. But yeah, there's some more nurturing you need to be doing for yourself, Sagittarius. I feel like you're going to have to nurture yourself through this process of starting these new relationships. I feel like some of you are starting like a new job or a new direction with your career, but you're going to have to make sure you're doing it differently than you've done in the past, where you've always like worked yourself to the bone and like go. And this new direction you're heading with whatever relationship this is, you have to take your time and make sure you're putting your self-care first. So the action card for Sagittarius, we have the finish what you started card. Look at that. Yeah, you've started something important and it's time to complete it. That's why I feel like you're going in some new direction, Sagittarius, with a long-term relationship towards a person or towards a career. There's something where, like I said, with that full moon, you just were like, I've had it. I've had enough. You've had to like nurture yourself through this. And now it's like, okay, I started something that my heart wanted and I haven't actually kept going with it. So now's your time with this new moon to take that next step. So for Sagittarius, essentially, it's not like something brand new. It's a new approach to something. All right, Capricorns. What do we have for the new moon for Capricorns? First, we have the World card. Again, we got the World card earlier in the Celtic cross. Accomplishment, celebration, completion. Yeah, Capricorns, this is happening in your, I'm a Capricorn rising. Why is my mind blanking right now? In your 6th house of daily work and routine and health and pets. And, it's really important to think about your daily routine. And I feel like with this World card, there's something changing for you here with your daily work. It says accomplishment, celebration, and completion. What are you completing, Capricorn? There's something I feel like you're bringing to a completion with this new moon, and then you're releasing it for consumption in some way. Like maybe you're finally wrapping up writing a book. Maybe you're finally getting started with a podcast that you've been, planning and getting ready. There's something with this World card here. Let's see. Let's go on to the Sedona card so we can get more clarity. Sage card here, heart's desires, manifesting. Yeah, it's something you've been working on really hard, Capricorn. It's coming to completion. And I know new moons are the beginning of a cycle, but if you think about it, we had that full moon, which is an ending, and it's bringing endings in. So it's almost like right before this new moon or right at this new moon, you're finishing something that starts a new cycle for you. So let's see what we have for the unicorn card. Love heals fear. The power of your love can help bullies and angry people to be less afraid. Let's see, is that a cougar on there? Wow, that's so fascinating. I had a cougar in my dream 2 nights ago. So here's what I'm getting to. There's been something that's happened in your past, probably since the last new moon in Gemini, or think back to about a year ago, right? Last May. There's something that happened where you felt bullied. You felt like you weren't able to really share your gifts with the world in the way you intended. And now you've gone through all this healing. You've been working on releasing those things that were holding you back. You've been healing from these situations where you felt held back by maybe somebody in your life that was bullying you. And, this this thing about love is so valuable here. It's like taking that 30,000 foot perspective that the angels do, and this goes for all of us, and just focusing on the love for a project, for your future. And, you want to love your daily routine, Capricorns, and you want to love your body enough to take care of your health. Like for me, I'll just share, since I'm a Capricorn rising, I am taking a new approach with some of my daily health habits. I actually started yesterday doing some new things with a new healthcare practitioner, knowing that with the sun moving into my 6th house of Gemini and routine, that it was a good thing to do. But this goes for everybody, right? We can start this new thing with this new moon. All right, moving on to the Aquarians. Hello, Aquas. What's going on for you with this new moon? We'll get you your bonus messages right after this, after the Pisces. All right, for the, look at that, Aquas. For this new moon, you have the Sun card, success, recognition, enthusiasm. You're doing something really big with this new moon, Aquas. I feel like you know what it is. Let's see what the Sedona card says. Oak Creek Canyon, moving to another level. Whoa, I just got full angel bumps for you, Aquas. You're rising above something. You're moving to a next level. You know what this is. You already know what this is, Aquas. I would love to hear in the comments if you want to share. You already know what this is, but there's something that you are manifesting with this new moon that's going to take you to a new level. You've kind of been stuck at this one level with your relationships, with your energy. Wait, hold on. I didn't talk about your house. This is happening in your 5th house of creative projects. You are taking your creativity to a new level. 5th house is also children. You're giving birth to something with this new moon. Use this full moon. Your romantic relationships, right? This is the house of one night stands, but also, your romantic partner, like something is really going to start to shine and go to the new level. I've been getting all year for the Aquas marriage card. So maybe you're finally getting married, or you recently got married, and now you're able to really bask in the love of that marriage, because maybe things have been so choppy. It's been choppy for all of us that you haven't gotten to really enjoy your being a newlywed. So let's see what this 3rd card is here, because this could be work too. Share. When you share, everyone feels happy. Yeah, Aquas, share what you're doing. Share with the world this project. Share your love. Share that you're getting married, or that you got married. Maybe not. And it may not be a romantic partner. Some of you may be signing getting married to a new job or new place that you're headed. But since this isn't your 5th house, it's some kind of long-term commitment to a creative project. So I would love to hear what you're doing with this energy, especially since you got the share card there, Aquas. Let me know if you're getting married. Oh, Robbie's here. Reverend Robbie. Oh my goodness. Everybody give a shout out to Robbie. She says, I've been lurking here in the background. I love it. And she knows what that is. Oh, I love it. I love it. Yay. Yay, Robbie. You guys go check out Bite Size Astrology with Robbie Hunt. Robbie's been a mentor to me, a teacher, a dear, dear friend. We work together at Serious Joy. She's just an amazing person. She does these daily posts that give you a snapshot on what the energy is. I always go check it out every time I get a chance. So definitely go check out Robbie. Love you, Robbie. All right, moving on to the Pisces here. What do we have for the Pisces? All right, Pisces energy for the new moon. We have 5 of Fire. Conflicts, annoyances, competition. All right, Pisces, this is happening in your 4th house. Maybe you're fighting with a roommate. Maybe you're not getting along. Your kids are causing disruption. This could be, something you're having a hard time choosing what project to focus on next, and it's affecting your self-worth. We'll get a little clarity here with this Sedona card and the Unicorn card here, Pisces. For the Sedona card, we have yucca. Yucca, those yucca plants you see. We have some of those in our neighborhood. Beauty elevates. Beauty elevates. You guys got this in your reading last week, that I feel like Pisces don't really honor how beautiful they are. And I always say this, I don't know a single Pisces who doesn't have those gorgeous windows to the soul eyes. It doesn't matter what the color is, but if you have a Pisces in your life, when you get a chance, look into their eyes. It's just they share their beauty. And I feel like, you don't embrace how beautiful you are. I feel like a lot of times you don't share how beautiful you are on the inside with the outer world. And that could be what's coming up for this 5 of Fire card. But since it is in your 4th house of self-worth, it's like maybe your affirmation needs to be, I am beautiful. And actually, let's all write that in our in the comment section below. I am beautiful inside and out. I am beautiful inside and out. Let's all write that in the comment section below, because you are, and you have light to shine with the world. And I feel like one of the things that's holding you back with this card here is you're not really owning how beautiful you are, and that if you really allow that, you will be able to share these projects. So let's see what the Unicorn card is. Unicorn card is you'll know in the morning. Ooh, I like that. When you wake up, you'll have a better idea of what to do. Relax until then. Well, there you go. It's as simple as that. Go to bed, Pisces, and do some dreaming, okay? Get some clarity on what project you need to start with next. I really, really feel like for Pisces, this may have to do with a renovation you're doing in your home. It may have to do with some change you need to make. Maybe you are moving and you're not sure where to move, so you need to go into dream time and ask about it. But actually, for most of the Pisces listening here, this has to do with some project that you're not feeling worthy of. And so I want you to really focus on manifesting that self-worth. Also, it's that security, like I just like emotional security. I've been getting this a lot for Pisces too, where you've been on the fence about starting a new relationship, and it's because you're still haven't healed something from a past relationship and you don't feel emotionally secure. So do the things that you need to do to help you feel beautiful and feel emotionally secure. All right, I love that for the Pisces. Let's move on to the bonus messages here, because we always get your actions to take. Thank you guys so much for hitting the like button, sharing this video with anybody you feel like it will resonate with. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. It really helps my channel grow, and I love connecting with you. I love reading every single one of your comments. Quick little announcement here. I forgot to say at the beginning. Next Wednesday at 11 a.m. Central, I have my good friend Chris Reck back on the channel. We are doing the next 3 months. We're doing an all signs reading for the next 3 months. That's Wednesday, May 28th at 11 a.m. Central, the same time that we do it every week. We're going to do that all signs reading. It's so much fun. The time always flies by. So I already have it scheduled. If you want to go click the notify me button on there right now so you don't forget. We love seeing you guys in the live. But it's always such a joy to have him back on the channel. And we thought it'd be really powerful to look at the next 3 months, because things are changing, right? They're already changing, but wow, they're really changing over the next 3 months. So I hope you'll join us there. All right. So this is the present energy, the near future, and the future. When I say near future, this could literally be in the next 30 minutes. It could be tomorrow, right? Future is just whatever time is right after that, 10 minutes after that, 2 days after that. Then we have the 2 action cards to take. And I really feel like this helps you apply things to this new moon energy. Remember, we're still coming off that full moon energy at the time of this recording, but you want to be ready. Start thinking now about where you could go ahead and plant some seeds with this really powerful new moon in Gemini. So in the present energy here, we have Oh, you're welcome, Janie. We have the 3 of fire. Absolutely. Things look very good. Have patience. Make long-term plans. Yeah, there's something you're like thinking, should I plant this seed or is the thing I'm doing right? And I'm really feeling like, yes, what you're doing with this new moon is right. Make plans for success right now. Just go ahead and picture huge success 6 months from now when we reach the full moon in Gemini, a year from now when we're back at this new moon, 5 years from now when the applause is all for you. Make those long-term plans. You are on the right track. So any questions you have about what you're planning to manifest with this new moon, you're on the right track. So let's see what's coming up in the near future. Look at that, the Chariot card. Ooh, I just got angel bumps. An important achievement, self-discipline, and willpower, public recognition. When you go ahead and initiate these new things, you plant these things, you make long-term plans, you are going to be recognized for this. Some of you are moving. You're either changing jobs, you're changing locations, you're changing what you're working on, but you are going to receive public recognition for this. The big reminder with this energy in these cards is, I'll switch so you can see it in here. This angel guiding this chariot is not holding the reins. The angel is using their intuition and their powers to guide these horses. So it's going to be really important in the near future that you are relying on your intuition as you move forward with these new things you're implementing, and go ahead and take your time. That's why they're saying have patience, right? Nothing really good comes overnight, right? It takes time. We have to build it. So what's coming up in the future? In the future, we have the 5 of fire card here. Competing goals, bothersome details, conflict with others. All right, so what's coming up for me with the future energy is really being careful to review other people's motives before you're engaging with them. So I am getting that maybe for some of you, you are starting your own business or you're starting a collaboration. You might even, because of this public recognition card, you might be receiving offers to join a group of people or join a collaboration. And what I'm getting from this future card is just really consider everybody's motives. It might be that you feel like you're on the same page, but when you really listen to your intuition, you realize that person has a different goal in mind for the outcome of that project or whatever it is. I am feeling like, for the example I like to use that's very mundane, is you're planning a trip with somebody and they want to see every historical thing and have every minute of the day booked, and you just want to sit by the pool and read. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. You just have competing goals. So you need to get clear on what are everybody's goals. What do they really want out of this? If people are calling you up and say, hey, I want to collaborate with you on this, I want your help with this, just make sure you're really clear, because you are moving away from a situation very soon where you weren't able to really focus on the seeds you've planted. And now you're getting that opportunity. You just need to review everyone's motives. In fact, it could be this conflict with others part could be that once you reveal with this new moon the changes you're making, the fact that you're leaving something behind and going a new direction, it might cause a little conflict at first. It might cause a little fear in others, but you've got to stay true to these seeds you're planting with this new moon. So let's go see what your 2 action cards are here. All right, for the first action card, we have renewal. Oh, I love this. Review and evaluate, a favorable assessment of the facts, time to move in a new direction. So it's already validating what's coming up in the future. The new moon is giving you the opportunity, in fact, right now while you're listening to this, to start moving in that new direction right now, okay? Do that now. Make these long-term plans now, because you are going to be leaving something behind in the near future. So just make sure you're not getting stuck in nostalgia. I do see that a lot with this card, where maybe you're going to miss the people. You know, you're moving to a new house and you're going to miss your neighbors, or you're going to miss the drive or the place you used to walk. You're moving away from a job and you always go to lunch with your best friend, and now you're not going to see her every day. There's something there, but this move is happening for you. It's in your highest interest. So just watch out for that nostalgia to come up there. Now, for your second action to take here is the 6. Oh, everything is about moving. I'm getting full angel bumps. 6 of air. It says, things are looking up, the end of a difficult situation, taking a trip. Yep. Everybody here watching this video, you are moving away from something and it's going to make life better. These unicorns are leaving all this stress on the shore. They're leaving it behind. They're moving away from all the challenge. Since this is an air card, it feels like there was just a lot of communication that was stressful. It was always on your mind. We have in the future card that 5 of Fire card. So maybe you're worried about how people are going to react to you leaving something behind, but you're being asked to start making long-term plans to do that right now at the time you're hearing these messages. Maybe you know you need to have a conversation with somebody. Go ahead and get that on your calendar. Go ahead and write down the 3 points you want to make to this person when you have that conversation. Practice having that conversation with them. And that's something you can also do in your dream time. I've had that happen for me so many times where I've been able to practice a conversation in the dream time so that when the actual confrontation or conversation appeared, I was able to handle it in a responsive, compassionate manner. And you can ask your spiritual team for help doing that. Of course, you can actually ask somebody in your life that you trust to just say, hey, you know, let's role play this out. Let's see how this goes and help me make sure I'm standing in my authenticity in this conversation. Thank you all for being here. I'm Devon Duerr, wishing you a very blessed day.